Guys, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in today. If you're not new, thank you so much for always being here. It means a lot to me. So guys, in today's video, as you've seen in the description, I would like to talk about market and market structure. Now basically, a market refers to a point where buyers come in contact with sellers. It can be a place, it can be a point, it can be on a platform where buyers actually come in contact with sellers, where transactions take place, transactions regarding trading takes place. So we have series of markets, we have different groups, different classifications of market. Some markets can be classified based on the goods that are sold in them. Two, markets can also be classified based on the prices of goods. Three, markets can also be classified based on the channel of distribution. So basically, those three are some of the ways a market can be grouped or classified. So, but for this video, since we are talking about market structure, we are just going to talk about what are those markets that fall under classification based on prices. And this actually takes us to what we have perfect and imperfect markets. Now, under the groups of markets that actually classified based on prices, we have perfect markets and we have imperfect markets. So those two markets are basically what I'm going to be expatiating more on in today's video. Maybe in subsequent videos I'll actually explain the others in depthly. But for this video, I'd like to explain types of markets based on price, classification of market based on prices. Alright, so guys, now markets can actually be classified based on prices, where we have perfect market and imperfect market. Now, in a perfect market is a kind of market whereby the prices of goods and services cannot be influenced by the sellers or producers. The producers cannot influence the prices of goods and services. Prices are actually fixed. Everybody, both the buyers and the sellers, are aware of the price of the goods. The goods in a perfect market, they look the same, they are homogeneous, they are all the same in every store you go to, every store of the perfect market, every shop you go to. If it's a perfect market, all their goods are the same, they have the same shape, the same quantity, the same size, and there's also common price. The prices of all of these commodities are the same for each producer. As long as the person is in a perfect market, you must not sell below, you must not sell above the price. And there should be no favoritism in the perfect market. No, you don't say because this person is from my tribe, I'm going to sell lower. So there is perfect knowledge of the goods. Consumers are buyers, which are consumers, they are aware of the price. So they cannot be exploited easily because they actually have perfect knowledge of the goods, of the service they are about to purchase. So prices are the same. You can actually enter in and come out of the market freely. No, new producers can actually move into the market easily and come out easily. So there is free entry and free exit. You know, so perfect market is this kind of market where all the prices are fixed and producers cannot control the prices of goods. They can't set their own prices for their own goods. They can't fluctuate the price. And prices of goods are actually constant, actually the same, they are not differentiated. And in a perfect market, the forces of demand and supply is what affects demand, is what determines the price. It's not the producer. Producers do not determine, they don't change price. Okay, today is 10 naira per bag, tomorrow is 20 naira. It's actually fixed. It's actually fixed. So they don't differentiate their prices. Now, the next market is imperfect market. Now there's so many classification of market that falls on that imperfect market. And imperfect market refers to this kind of market whereby a producer can easily influence the price of goods. He can actually decide to change it the next day. If he wakes up the next day, he can actually decide to change it again. So he can easily influence the price of goods and service, can easily change it to suit his own need. So different markets that fall under imperfect market are monopoly, oligopoly, duopoly, monopsony. So for monopolistic competition, for this video, I'll be talking about those five. Now, monopoly actually refers to this kind of market. It's not a monopoly game. It's not monopoly game. So monopoly refers to this kind of market, a kind of market whereby we have only one single seller, only one or a single seller. It's only one person that sells a particular product, and that kind of market, the person has power. He can actually differentiate. He can actually fluctuate the price if he decides because he's the only one and he has no competition, and he has this excess power. He can even exploit the consumers in some cases where some producers are scrupulous and very, very bad. So Monopoly is a kind of market whereby it's only one single person that produces or manufactures a particular product. Now, take for example, in Nigeria, we have public corporations. Public corporations are like government agencies, government offices that they've been assigned with the duty. Only them have been assigned with the duty to do this particular thing. That kind of thing is there is monopoly. Yes, there's monopoly. Take for example, there was a time in Nigeria it was only we only had one distribution company, and that was NEPA, and it was owned by the federal government. So that was like a monopoly kind of thing then. So monopoly refers to this kind of market whereby only one person has the legal rights to actually produce a product. Now there are certain things that compare monopoly. It could be an act of parliament, maybe that was signed in by the legislature, that gives only one person, one single agency or company or institution the right to do a particular thing. It could also be because of high level of technology. Some producers are actually sophisticated. Like for example, people in the rocket science space industry, it's not easy to actually move into that kind of industry to just start as a beginner. So they kind of have this like monopolistic right to to do things. Then we have another reason why they could also be monopoly. It could be merging of firms. Some firms producing similar product could decide to say, okay, let's consolidate our funds, let's call it consolidate our firms. All right, let us merge, let us amalgamate, let's come together, and that kind of thing will make them stronger and to actually give them more rights, and they can actually uh, begin to monopolize. Like only them will be the single producer of a particular product. Then number two, we have duopoly. Duopoly refers to a kind of market system whereby only two producers produce a particular product. Only two producers. Now it's not like monopoly where it's only one single producer, but duopoly it refers to a market system whereby only two producers produce a single product. Then we have oligopoly. Oligopoly refers to a kind of market system. Actually, it's also under the imperfect market. Oligopoly is the kind of market whereby there are few sellers and there are many buyers. There are few sellers. There are only few people producing that product. Take for example, in Nigeria, we have soda water, which we call drinks or mineral, as they usually call it in Nigeria. So there are just few companies like Coca Cola, Pepsi Cola, Biggie Cola, and Biggie. Just few companies that are producing those similar products. They are kind of involved in an oligopoly market. Then we move to monopsony. Monopsony refers to this kind of market whereby there's only one single buyer for a product. I mean, is there any market like that on this planet Earth where there's only one single buyer of a product? So last but not least, we move to monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition refers to a kind of market whereby there are different producers of a product, and their products are actually unique, such that you cannot say one product is a perfect substitute for another. I hope you've been able to learn a lot from this video. Please do well to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.